So will you accept the Supreme Court ruling? If they legalize same-sex marriage for the entire country, do you accept that ruling or do you fight it?
Well, of course I'd fight it. That Roe versus Wade was decided 30-some years ago, and I continue to fight that because I think the court got it wrong. And I think if the court decides this case in error, I will continue to fight as we have for on the issue of life. I mean, that's the role of a citizenry. We're not bound by what 9 people say.
All right, and joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, is Tom DeLay, former U.S. House Majority Leader, Congressman from the great state of Texas. Hello, Congressman.
Hello, Steve. I love hearing that.
Well, yes, I know, and I love calling you that. You know, here's the deal. You know, they're going after Rick Santorum because he said that even if the Supreme Court rules in favor of gay marriage, it doesn't mean it's over. He won't stop. I mean, the court ruled in favor of Citizens United. And the president himself and every Democrat on down to this day constantly bashes that decision. So what the heck's the difference?
Well, there is no difference. In fact, what they're trying to do is to fool the American people into not understanding the Constitution. A ruling by the Supreme Court is nothing but an opinion if the legislative branch and the executive branch do not enforce it. And not only that, if the states would just invoke the 10th Amendment and assert their sovereignty, they can defy a ruling by the Supreme Court. It's in the Constitution. We can tell the court what cases they can hear. I passed 6 bills out of the House limiting the jurisdiction of the court, saying you can't hear a case on prayer in schools, or you can't hear a case on a nativity scene on the county lawn. Rick Santorum is absolutely right. If this Supreme Court rules against marriage, all hell is going to break loose. In fact, I'm a signatory of a document that basically says you can rule any way you want to, but we're going to stand for marriage even if it takes civil disobedience.
Yeah, and you know, when you hear, you know, Greg Gutfeld from Fox News Channel said the other day, Republicans have to stop worrying about who people sleep with, and that's a reference to the gay marriage issue, and that's just so, in my opinion, vulgarly misrepresenting the issue. Nobody cares who you sleep with behind closed doors. Do what you want to do, as long as it's legal. You know, it's not a minor. But that has nothing to do with the marriage issue, and that's a terribly liberal, progressive way of framing that issue.
Exactly right. For all of time, not just Christians and Jews, but all religions have defined marriage as one man and one woman to come together as one and have children and raise those children. You cannot redefine it. It is set in stone. You can call it something else and create civil unions, but you cannot redefine marriage. Plus, this is about religious liberty. Look at what's already happened, and the Supreme Court has not ruled yet. We have a photographer losing their business, a baker losing her business, a florist losing her business because the government and its heavy hand came down on them because they wouldn't, because of their religious tenets and religious standing, they could not bring themselves to service a same-sex marriage ceremony. So that is religious liberty. And this is about religious liberty more than anything else.
All right, what do you think your former governor down there in the great state of Texas announced today? No surprise, his second go-around. Serious candidate, good possibility?
Yeah, I think he's a serious candidate. I think he's got and will raise the money that he will need to get in the race and stay in the race. You know, this race with so many people running could actually end up in a brokered convention. And I'm all for that. I'm very happy to have a long, tough debate through a campaign for president, which helps you build momentum, helps you put energy in the party, helps you bring people together and volunteer and raise money and tell your story. I'm all for it.
How much will this indictment, you know, something that you went through and you eventually cleared your name, I know there's a court decision pending and he's hoping to have it thrown out, and others on the other side of the aisle have also said that this is not a legitimate case, but how much of a hindrance is this going to be?
Well, I think it is a hindrance. I don't know how big it's going to be to him, but You know, if you're weighing, say, Ted Cruz against Rick Perry, and Rick Perry has this clown hanging over their head, but a lot of donors will step back and say, well, I'll wait till this is resolved, or I'll go with Ted Cruz because I don't have this problem where a shoe could drop and I've wasted my money. It will have an impact. How big an impact, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, on the other side, we now have Lincoln Chafee, a former Republican turned Democrat, who's in the race, and apparently he's running on his platform is we should go to the metric system. That's all I hear. That's all I've seen from him so far. So I guess you'd have to revamp football, and we'd have to have X amount of meters would be a first down, or whatever, centimeters or whatever the heck, and no more Fahrenheit. That's a good platform to run on, isn't it?
Exactly. I served with his father, and I served with him, and they're great for comic relief, I got to tell you.
That's a good way to put it. Always great to talk to you, Congressman. We'll speak to you very soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, Tom DeLay, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, we have the Malzberg panel will be here, and you're not going to want to miss it, I promise you. And we have a lot of interesting things to talk about. Governor Perry, for one, launching his campaign. The Clinton Foundation took $10 million in donations from an African church that calls homosexuals devils. Let's hear her explain the good that donation did, and much, much more. It's all straight ahead right here on the Steve Malzberg Show on Newsmax Television.